You know my name. You might even know my face. So I'll only say this once. Watch and subscribe to Eric's channel, or the Knife of Dunwall just might visit you next.
Okay, welcome to the first part of the third and final mission of Brigmore Witches, Delilah's Masterwork. This is going to be infiltrating Brigmore Manor. Yeah, pretty sure I can get this done in 2 videos. So, yeah, let's get started. Delilah and her coven are planning something that threatens everyone across the Empire of the Isles. Infiltrate the ruins of Brigmore Manor and stop Delilah.
The Brigmores were an ancient family, bankrupted a generation ago. Since then, the manor has housed 2 street gangs, a smuggling ring, innumerable rats, and the Brigmore Witches. I'd always left them alone, but now a painter named Delilah had taken up witchcraft and formed a coven. She was trying something. A ritual. But what kind? The outsider knows. I cannot abide a mystery.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get all the favors. Holding the fence, it's a bit of a more stealthy way in. Thieving butler, there's a cache that we can get. And turncoat will give us some information that might need. I'm just going to go ahead and upgrade everything. We don't need the money now, right? There's nothing to use it for after this. So let's just go ahead and get anything I might need. There's an achievement called it's called Enough Coin to Disappear, but you have to finish the game with 10,000 coin to get that achievement. And I think I've gotten it in the past, but it's obviously not gonna happen this time, so won't bother.
I scouted, sir. They've locked the front, and I've seen evidence of snares. Also, maybe it's nothing, but I spotted several statues of the woman Delilah. I don't know what it means, but I thought it was worth mentioning.
It means trouble. Anything else?
They're getting in and out of the house somehow, but I haven't spotted it. Sorry, sir. Best I can do.
Good enough. I'll take it from here.
Okay, so we're at the beginning of the mission here, and if you look behind you, there's the Undine in the distance. It's a low-res image. You can't go visit it. There's an invisible wall. So we are now in the Mucherhaven district. So this is outside the city. See the buildings up there. Most of the district is up on that cliff, but the Brigmore Manor is down here by the river, and it's said to be upriver north of Dunwall, which brings up that question, and kind of for my first video is, which way is the Wrenhaven River flowing? Or does the river turn sharply north once you get outside the main map area? That probably makes the most sense, but it's less than 4 miles from Dunwall, because it's supposed to be, let me get this river crest. It's the second most distant location from Dunwall. The most distant is King Sparrow, which is 4 miles. It says so on the map. It's 4 miles downriver. So this place must be no more than 4 miles, less than 4 miles upriver. And so this district used to be a very kind of a wealthy area where all the wealthy lived, kind of before the whale oil boom. Butler's note. They're on to me. The urn will have to stay here, Reggie, until we can return by boat and claim it. The master's key, however, will go with me, and, since you are nowhere to be seen, I have little choice but to scale the rocks by the waterfall and make my escape across country. Leave me out to dry on this one, and I'll put a bullet in your skull. Why? Okay. There's also a charm down here somewhere. See if I can find it. But yeah, this was a wealthy district before the whale oil boom. Then all the rich people moved into the city, into the estate district, and it kind of started falling off. There it is. And that's what happened to the Brigmores as well. Tank. Yep, so there are 3 corrupted charms and... oh, I think 4 normal charms. Okay, so here is Brigmore Estate. So the Brigmores made their money in timber, and if you see, you'll see some of their kind of coat of arms or banner inside. It's got a tree on it. But during the whale oil boom, they kind of lost all their money, and the manor had to be abandoned. All right, so I'm gonna just go ahead and take out this gravehound. Shoot the skull from a distance. And they won't come up and get you. So these are just normal hounds that the witches have sort of zombified with their magic.
Strange doings, sir. I killed a hound in the yard, and it got straight back up and went for me. I had to crush its skull, to be sure.
Yep. Or, again, not that we need it, but if you're trying for that achievement... oh, that was clumsy. You can sneak up onto the ledge of this fence here and go into the yard of the estate. But that area is just very, very well guarded with hounds and witches, so we won't go in that way. And this little outbuilding here has got some information. Try not to trip the tripwire. We're all topped off on those. Lookout orders. S. Daud has left Draper's ward on Lizzie Stride's boat and could arrive within hours. Disable the grave switch. Isabel will lock the manor and wait for further instructions in the backyard. E. Presumably Delilah. So you just hear that witch who kind of blinks in. Help on your assignment. Here, brother. I've sent you one of the strictures to guide you on your assignment to Brigmore. My hope is that heeding the warnings of the 6th stricture will be the utmost of your troubles while dealing with those heretics. Yours, Bertram. And of course, I'm sure you know, the 6th stricture is restrict the wanton flesh. So I think he's telling this guy not to, I don't know, not to bang the witches or something. I don't know. Very strange. Here's the cash.
Everything is in order,
sir. Favors. There's a rune and some mana potion I don't need. Alright, so there's a broken fence there, but that goes right into the front yard. Very exposed. Lots of witches and hounds there, so we will not go in that way. We will go in this way. Very helpfully marked hole in the fence. Although I guess there are multiple holes in the fences, or fallen bits of fence. And there are some river crusts here that we need to harvest pearls from. That's part of Granny's recipe. And there's one. You see, take one out and the rest come running, so it's usually best just to stay out of the front yard altogether. Okay, and here's where pole is useful. And there's one more there. You only need 3, but they don't always have pearls in them, so okay. And there's another rune in this safe right here. So that's 2. There are 3 runes outside, and then 1 on the interior of the manor. Alright, couple things of interest in this shed. One more river crust. Jeez. Hey. Okay, so we definitely have at least 3 pearls. And you have to find the recipe first before you can activate it, unfortunately. But what you would then do is drink from this fountain, and then a rune will appear. Then also this lever for the grave switch, which will give us our most stealthy entrance to the manor. But before we do that, I want to go around back here. So the estate is kind of hemmed in by all these cliffs, and there's a waterfall in the back. So that was what the butler was talking about. So we'll go see what's back there. So there's the waterfall. And there's the butler. So he did not quite make it. Take that key. So he was not successful in scaling the waterfall and kind of fell down here. But he has a key which, if you want, you can go right in the front door. It's probably the less popular choice, but you can do that. And come up here on this ledge. So there were a bunch of, in the past, these paths, and you saw there was a broken wooden path and then a stone path up to the upper district. But the way has all kind of crumbled now because it's not been maintained. Right, so coming up here, there is a charm, but there's a witch that appears as soon as you get close. So healthy appetite. I swear this manor looks bigger on the inside than on the outside. So we'll continue the strategy of
Daud. I grow sick of this assassin.
slipping
The other sisters
stun mine in while they're
tiny
gossiping.
shudder of awe in their voices, like stupid schoolgirls.
Don't worry, love. The hounds will warn us. Or the statues. and then we'll descend on him like a murder of crows, and we'll pick his bones clean.
Alright, so if you come up to this this kind of attic area, some important stuff here. Oh. Pages from an old book. A page torn from an old manuscript written in a scrawling hand. Dreary waters, hissing daughters, crack 3 green shells and steal their pearls. Turn the spigot and drink from the misery of a broken house. Gulp and swallow. Follow, follow. 3 wet marbles down the gullet. Do this for me, dearie, and I'll give you a birthday gift. Granny. Right, so that's Granny's recipe. And a couple of books. Petals and Thorns, excerpt from a children's book. In the verdant garden, kneeling quietly, Rosalind and her basket attended a gathering of crown roses. Rosalind bent, caressing one of the roses, and she brought the shears from behind her back, where they were hidden, as if they might spook the flowers. It was but a small thing to take a life for her mother. As she brought the shears around, she pulled at a stem, readying it for the blades, but the flower did not comply, and rewarded her trust with a thorn buried in her thumb. A single drop of crimson welled up from the wound. Before Rosalind could bring her thumb to her lips, a hand closed around her wrist. Her mother was standing nearby, witness to all that had transpired. The rose demands its price, my love. Do not deny the flower its toll. Rosalind winced as her mother forced her hand out over the flower bed and gently squeezed her thumb. 3 drops spattered onto the dry soil. As her mother walked away, Rosalind blinked away tears and gripped tight her shears. She left the garden with her basket brimming. 3 crimson drops and 1 crimson flower, all that remained of the once proud garden. Topical for the plant-themed Brigmore witches. The Art of the Enchanting Garden. Excerpt from a book on landscaping. Effective garden design must entice the casual observer by drawing them through the garden gates with a promise of the idyllic. Yet once inside, it must continue to captivate the senses, compelling visitors to linger among lush greenery and well-positioned decor. The tranquility of a solitary pool, the perfume of jasmine flowers, the drape of an ancient woody clematis. Across the estates of Dunwall, all these must serve to soothe and beguile those who adventure into the well-tended garden of our gentry. Whether one chooses manicured symmetry or the illusion of wild growth, certain fundamentals must always apply. Variations of shape and size to excite the vision, cohesive themes to calm the spirit, and complementary scents and colors. As noted in the high-walled gardens of Lord and Lady Mordigan Pluff, place marble sculpture throughout as a means of transporting the visitor to a world of imagination. In keeping with the influential vision set forth by the beloved Beauregard sisters, daughters of the late Jonathan and Olivia Sutter, coo to those visiting your manor garden with coordinated sounds, the soft splash of the fountain, the trickling of a stone-walled stream, and the rustle of Circonian sheath oaks from high above. Remember, a magical meeting place can be as simple as periwinkle-draped bower over a crunching gravel pathway, or a pedestal bench nestled under the boughs of a crown willow. So, I don't know, exterior garden design used for the very stylish Brigmore estate. You can imagine maybe how the manor used to look in past times before it all kind of became decrepit. Oh, jeez. Oh.
Someone to play.
Alright, so here's the greenhouse, or the solarium as it's called. It provides some access to the front door and to the grave that has the hidden entry. Rhyme of the Rosewater Hag, excerpt from an almanac on folk tales and superstitions of Bristol. So far in this almanac, we have catalogued many trite and ignorant, if somewhat harmless tales, but we must now turn to that special class of folk customs that can only be called wicked and pernicious. The worst of these is perhaps the Rhyme of the Rosewater Hag. Variants of this accursed poem seem to predate even the founding of Dunwall, though its ultimate origins are lost to us. As to its meaning, some consider it a tale of revenge by a mother against her own daughter. Others see it as a supplication meant to solicit the attention of some ancient spirit from the void. In any case, the ritual surrounding the poem is profusely morbid, and in many regions is used as a primitive means of settling the matter between two parties where one has accused the other of falsehood. It is performed as follows. First, whoever is to be tested must find a fountain of standing water and cover the surface with fallen rose petals. Once there are sufficient petals as to completely obscure the water, you must close your eyes firmly and place both hands within the fountain so that they are submerged beneath the blanket of rose petals. Then you are to recite the following verses. The Rosewater Hag. Petals, petals on the water, tell me, where's your daughter? Has she drowned beneath the mark? Has she vanished in the dark? Petals, petals on the water, tell me, where's your daughter? Has she twisted by the well? Has she secrets left to tell? Petals, petals on the water, tell me, am I your daughter? After this, you must lean into the fountain, lowering your head fully into the water and under the rose petals. Face first with both eyes still squeezed tight. Count to 3 and then open your eyes. At that moment, it is said that the Rosewater Hag will arrive. If you are without fault, you will see nothing, except that you will feel her gentle caress on the back of your neck. But if there is falsehood or wickedness in your heart, you will see the horrible face of the Rosewater Hag, a creature of indescribable horror. The hag will drown you in the fountain with a cord made of thorny vines. Obviously, while the Abbey takes things very seriously, most authorities classify this tale as superstitious nonsense. However, it must be noted that every year there are at least half a dozen reports from the countryside of young women found dead and blue-faced, with their necks pricked and scratched as if by a collar of thorns. I don't know, it sounds more like the Brigmore witches are out doing all this stuff, but I don't know, maybe this is what inspired the all of Delilah's plant-based attacks. No loot in there. I don't think there's anything else in this. No. Okay, so now that we know about Granny's recipe, we can go actually do it. So we have to go all the way back. Go around the back of the of the estate and activate that. But first, I'll pay a quick visit to this Delilah statue. Oop. So, gravehounds don't count toward kills. There are a couple more here, so if you can destroy them before you get close, they won't rise up at you. So this is another time when pull is useful. You can just pull them over to you, and sometimes you can break them against. You can throw them and break them. There you go, like that. And if you go in front of the statue, so the The witches, they weren't always Brigmore witches. They were based in the flooded district until I don't know if they got chased out by the whalers, but they had been based there, and then they were based somewhere else in Dunwall. But they've only been here for a year or two. I think they came to Brigmore Manor in 1835 or 6, so just before the plague started. And that's when they became known as the Brigmore witches. But, yeah, Daud knew about the witches, but he didn't know Delilah personally, which is interesting. So it's likely possible that Delilah wasn't always their leader. Maybe she just kind of came in and, using her outsider powers, made them more than they were. Alright, so we drink from the fountain now, and we get a rune. Okay, so there's a charm up there. There are a couple of witches on the roof. It's not super easy to sneak up on them from this side. You can from the front side. It's kind of a broken attic. It doesn't let you into the building, but it lets you cross from front to back. Stop time. Then plant a stun mine.
Around here.
Okay, and there's a charm. Up here. I think there is. Oh, it's over there. Okay. Witch's skin. Right. Spirit of the deep. Yep, we read that already. I think I found that like 3 or 4 times already. Okay, so as I said, if you have the key, you can go in the front door.
I wonder if she's the one who's been putting teeth under my pillow. Tonight I'll close my eyes and pretend to sleep.
Okay, so, but I'm not going to go in that way. Actually, there's something I forgot. We, our third favor is the Turncoat Witch, who's going to give us some information. And you meet her right back here. And she should be among this group of witches.
Some wandered away from supposed to be here.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. There's another key, front door key, right there on that tray. I think it's too far to pull. But, oh, there she is. But there, so those are 2 locations for the front door key. Uh-oh.
What? Sisters!
What? That should not happen. Is it glitched? Oh, I think I know. If she sees you, if you're hostile against any of the other witches, she will turn hostile also, and you can no longer talk to her. So if she sees you fighting one of the others, then you can't get the information. So Let me reload. See if I can. Yeah, it's probably not very interesting watching me go back and forth across this this path. Might want to skip ahead a few seconds. This district, the Mutcherhaven district, is also home of Inchmouth Manor, owned by Wimsley Inchmouth. So we picked up some loot owned by the Inchmouth family in the previous missions of the games. That's another famous family. Alright, gotta do this again. Alright, let's try this one more time.
Don't think I'm on your side.
There we go.
Because I'm not. If you raise a hand to any of my sisters but Delilah, you'll answer to me.
Understood. What have you got?
When her ritual's done, Emily Caldwin's mind will be gone, and Delilah will look out through her eyes the rest of her life.
And Delilah will rule as Empress.
That's up to you. I've got my money. That's all I need.
Wait. What about a way in?
Use the crypt. There's a lever that opens one of the tombs. The lever is kept in the shed. That's all I can tell you.
The favor is only 50 coin. They must be really poor. Which is funny because there's loot all over the place. Alright, I guess I gotta do this again.
I never see this place without... Help me!
For a swim later?
Oh yes, my dear.
Where are they gonna swim? By the waterfall? With that body floating in there? Probably, actually. Yeah, the key's right there, but can't quite reach it with pull. Too far. Well, guess I gotta go back around here again. This mission takes place canonically just before Return to the Tower in the main game, so it's the same day as that mission. Which means that by the time Corvo meets Daud in the flooded district, this whole story is already over, which kind of adds a little bit extra to that interaction. And it's kind of a fan theory that the reason Daud kind of puts Corvo in that pit that he can easily escape by several methods, is because he actually kind of halfway wants Corvo to come for him, because he feels guilty, and he wants to have his his resolution one way or another. Okay, so to get into the graveyard, it's actually pretty nifty to sneak right along this ledge. Kind of stay away from the hounds. Alright, and here's the grave. And wait, I want to read the note first. Ah. Alright. With Daud on his way, Delilah had me disable the grave switch and put it in the garden shed. Well, kind of already know that. Alright. And, oh. And there come the hounds for me. You see what I get for trying to read every every note? Alright. That's... oh, good. Let's see. Alright, so you want to make sure to close this, otherwise they'll follow you right into here. So you can hear them up there, and they'll still... yeah, so they're still looking for you, so you got to make sure to close that. This is another Delilah statue. And a charm right there, and as soon as you touch it, so it's widely assumed these are supposed to be just references to the weeping angels from Doctor Who. So there's actually I don't know if it's an achievement or a special action for not tripping any of these tripwires, because there are a lot of them, so you can stay away from them. They'll get a little acknowledgement for that. Okay, so you come up into the manor, and this is the stealthy way, but you can also come in the front door, and both lead to the kind of
And I thought the
this front living room here.
one down.
We got some witches and some gravehound skulls. So either way, you start kind of in the same area. Okay, here's the front door, just to get kind of your bearings, because there's no map for this mission. And there's the east wing, and there's the west wing, which is locked. So the east wing is the kind of leads to the gallery where you deal with Delilah at the end, but can't do that quite yet. So we come up to the second floor. You can go that way or this way. So this way leads back toward the east wing with the kind of the second floor of that long gallery hallway. And it's full of witches, so you have to go pretty carefully. Yeah, they're kind of hiding back in these little areas. I don't think there's anything up here.
Will we leave this place soon, or stay for another season?
I wish I knew.
And then that's towards Delilah's kind of main studio area. But we're not going to go that way yet, because we need to find the lantern that lets us go into the painting. Delilah's Musings. I worked in my studio until late last night and completed the painting of Emily. When Daud kidnapped her, I was terrified that he might already know what I was planning, but it seems I overestimated him. He turned her over to the conspirators. What a fool. Once young Emily assumes the throne, I'll already be looking out of those lovely brown eyes. In case you didn't already know what the plan was. And this just leads down to the first floor of that same hallway. So we will not go that way yet. And sometimes there are some witches across the way there. But avoid the hole. And there are a couple ways you can go, this way and that way. First, let's go into this room and see Overseer Pradcliffe. I think that's his name.
Please, no, don't make me eat anymore. I can't. Brother Marcus, I denounce the Abbey. Wandering gaze, lying tongue, restless hands, roving feet, rabbit. The 7 strictures are 7 lies. The High Overseer is the whelp of a wolfhound bitch. The 7 strictures are 7 lies. 7.
What happened to you?
I denounce the oracles. Oracles. They saw. The Caldwell girl is the key. The girl in the painting.
Where's Delilah?
Okay, so as soon as he gets done talking, this witch comes in and kills him, but even if you stop her, he still dies, so it's a little bit glitched. There's nothing you can do to stop that, unless you just either stay out of the room, walk away, or knock him out before she appears. Here are the remains of Brother Marcus, so they made him eat Brother Marcus. That's why he went crazy. He's got a charm here. Spirit water. Right, let's see. Read this one first. Warning on corrupted charms. Excerpt from an overseer's report on black market occult artifacts. Vice Overseer Melios. While traveling in Sarkonos, which is of course within your purview, I came across a matter that demands your attention. My brothers and I were using the overland route from Calero to Karnaca, escorting 2 of our sisters from the Oracular Order, as requested months ago. My apologies for the delay. High Overseer Campbell is a busy man, as I'm sure you understand, and sometimes such deployments fall to the wayside as his mind is devoted to some immediate concern of higher import in our struggle against the outsider. Halfway to Karnaca, our caravan stopped in a lakeside town, where we learned that a man had been recently murdered. Initially, this was no cause for our involvement, until we heard about some of the things found in his keeping. Red wax candles that we suspect were mixed with ox blood, clippings of hair, and a painting that hung over his kitchen table depicting a small girl child carrying 2 dried leaves. I need not tell a man of your wisdom that these things were of concern, but other clues confiscated at the site were far more serious. The victim's finally appointed rooms were located on the top floor, looking down over the lake. He was a merchant of some means, and from what we found, it's clear that he was trafficking in heresy, attempting to buy an occult charm constructed of whalebone. What makes this case different is that the man was not attempting to purchase some superstitious sailor's carving from bygone days. Here we have a situation in which a private citizen and a functioning member of society actually commissioned the creation of a new artifact aimed at a specific purpose. Those offering this service, from what we can tell, were attempting to craft a new charm from shards of older whalebone talismans. Vice Overseer, we believe that this new artifact was damaged in some way, creating the rift between buyer and seller which resulted in murder. From what we've gathered, the item possessed some occult power. It also seemed to come at a cost, however, afflicting the bearer in several unwanted ways as well. Whether the individual or cult responsible for the creation of the corrupted bone charm made it that way deliberately, or whether the capabilities proved somehow inferior, is not something we know at this time. However, this occurrence matches other such stories from across the Isles. As a coddled generation has grown more accepting of heresy, even taking delight in the tales of witchcraft found in lurid adventure stories, this is the result. Now, even those with no real connection to the void are attempting to devise their own disgusting rituals and talismans. Such corrupted bone charms and fractured runes could even be more dangerous than the original artifacts, as impossible as that might seem. As I must now journey to Dunwall to take up my next assignment, I leave any further investigation in your capable hands. However, I've left copies of this letter with several outposts along the way to Karnaca, and I've asked that any loyal to the Abbey who come across these words, if they have the time and means, copy them for our brethren and for those over whom they watch. The merchant is dead, but those who crafted this corrupted charm still walk the land. Roving feet! Our worries are not overzealous imaginings, as some would claim, but represent a very real danger. As you will agree, these matters should be of grave concern to any who wish to keep our lands free from the curses of the void. Overseer Angus Duncan, Freyport Outpost, Morley. Alright, so this is very long drawn out, basically just a description of what the corrupted charms are. They give you something, but there's a penalty. Calls back to the report we read in the last video from the previous overseer. Alright, overseer's orders. Brother Pradcliffe, you are charged with surveillance of the Mutcherhaven district and surrounding estates. Travel there immediately and report all findings to the office of the High Overseer. If any signs of organized heresy are uncovered, send for additional support. Do not attempt to handle the situation alone. Remember the strictures and you will not fail. Overseer Cranton. Well, looks like you did kind of fail. Yeah. Overseer Interrogation. I was unable to extract much from this one. He was well trained. Feeding him his former companion elicited mostly useless sounds and mess. I'll try again tomorrow unless he becomes violently deranged, in which case I'll have little choice but to put him down. So they made him eat Brother Marcus until he went crazy. So if you reload, so the only way to save him after talking to him is to just knock him out, or I guess walk away before the witch appears.
Don't make me eat any more. I can't. Brother Marcus, I denounce the Abbey. Wandering gaze.
What happened to you?
I denounce the oracles. The oracles. They saw. The Caldwell girl is the key. The girl in the painting.
Right, so if you knock him out, and the witch won't appear, and he'll just stay unconscious. Alright, so that's Brother Overseer Pradcliffe. So we can continue along the second floor here. But you know what? I think that's probably a good place to do a hard save and stop for now. Yeah, so I'll pick up, finish it in the next video. More than enough time to do the last bit. I don't know why I thought this was going to be a three-parter. Clearly, it's going to be one, and the second one will be pretty short, I think. But I'll show a couple of ways of dealing with Delilah. So, all right, that's it for this one. Thanks once again for watching.